This is 3ds Max Super Easy. We'll be diving into how to create a photorealistic interior render from scratch just in 20 minutes. We will create this render using exact dimensions so that you can easily recreate it by yourself. If you're new to 3ds Max or have some experience, this guide is designed to help you create beautiful interiors efficiently. Even if you just launched 3ds Max for the first time and have only gotten as far as creating a simple box, this lesson is for you. For those with a bit more experience, there's still a lot you can learn to refine your skills. Before we get started, here's what you will need. 3ds Max version 2021 or later. Corona Render version 10. This is the most optional version at that moment. And some learning materials. I've prepared a special product with the scene, models and textures, all saved in the 2021 version of 3ds Max. The download link in the description, and it's free. You can also get 3ds Max for free for educational purposes, and Corona Render is available with a 45-day demo. If you haven't installed these programs yet, make sure to do so before starting. After you have prepared everything, let's move on to practice. First, we'll set up units to millimeters. You can find a guide on that in the corner of your screen. Begin modeling in 3ds Max. We'll use splines to create a room. Choose rectangular with measurements of 8000 by 7200 millimeters. Once we've created this rectangle, we will convert it into an editable spline. Press the free button to select our border, go to the edit mode, select the outline option and specify a value of 200. Now press the button 1 to select vertex and create new points on the wall using the refine option. Now let's align them with the help of snaps. Right-click on them to open and repeat my settings. In the tab Views, we use 2.5. Now press the 2 button to select the edges. Remove the edge between them so that they can be connected. Connect them from the Create Line option. Click Yes. Press Ctrl+A to select all points, and now use the Weld option to connect all the points together. While all the points are selected, specify the type of corner. Now let's move our points down. Go to the modifiers, tab and select Extrude. Specify a height of 4000 millimeters. Now let's create our arches and walls. Choose rectangle and go to the left view and draw the line by the following walls using 2.5 snap. Now let's move to the perspective and move it to our wall. Now repeat the process, create another rectangle, specify its size 3000 by 1300 and place it on the same wall. Then let's move it lower and snap that line. Move it to 450 millimeters to the left, select the absolute mode option, specify -450 here. Now press right mouse button and click Convert to Editable Spline. Then let's attach our lines. Now I would like to create a copy of our rectangle. Select our smaller rectangle and hold the shift and drag it to the left using the snap. Let's move it to the left and specify -400. Remove the lower edges and use the Create Line tool to connect our points. They should be in the same plane. Now select the top points of the arches using the fillet tool. Set the value to 600 to round the corners. Pull. Now select all the points and weld them. Apply the extrude modifier and specify its value of -1300. Return back to line editing mode and specify interpolation 60. Create our walls through the box. Repeat the following dimensions and hold down Shift and drag it to the left to copy. Repeat the dimensions. And create a box for the ceiling. And hold Shift and drag it down. Don't forget about snaps. The next step is to import the models through Merge. Insert the carpet model. Now the chair. You can simply drag the model into the scene and click the Merge. The lamp, a stand for a vase, and a picture. Paste them into the scene and create a layer for each type of geometry. First, the ceiling, the floor, convert the walls to editable poly, attach them together and assign a wall layer. The rest is decor and furniture. Always keep your scenes in order. Let's move on to the camera. Go to the camera tab and select Corona Cam. Click on the scene and this is how you create it. Center our camera and its target relative to the coordinate 0. Just click on its value with the right mouse. Align it. Select our camera and move it down. Press the C button, hold down Shift and the middle mouse button to raise it. Press Shift plus F. Click the camera name in the upper corner, select a camera, go to its settings, in the focal length section specify 30 and check automatic vertical shift option. Specify the dimensions of our frame. Make sure the renderer is Corona and go to the Common tab. Specify the following dimensions of our frame. Click the lock. Now let's move our camera back and forth. And I see that I need to put the wall a little farther. I'll take a box, I'll specify its dimensions and by selecting the wall as an element with the 5 key, I'll rearrange it with a snap. Let's adjust our angle. You can move objects using the W key and select the axis alone, which you will move them using the F5, F6 and F7 keys. Now press the M button, the editing material slate will open. Right-click the mouse, Materials, Corona, Corona Legacy Material. This is how we created the basic gray material. Press F10 and in the Scene tab, turn on the Material Override checkbox and drag our material here through the instance. Open our frame buffer and run the interactive. Click the render button and select this option. Nothing. That's because we don't have any light and we need to create some. Let's go back to our material editor and create a map Corona Sky. Double click on it. Select this mode. It will give a soft light in our scene. Let's lower the turbidity to the base value and reduce the intensity to 0.05. Press F10 in the Scene tab, select the Scene Environment section, specify the lighting type as a single light. Let's drag our map here through the instance and let's start the interactive. As you can see, the picture is too dark and blue. Let's fix it. Increase the intensity of the sky, get rid of blue color through color correct. Turn off the saturation of the map and add it to the map slots in the same way through the instance. Let's make it even brighter. And our light is set. Adjust our textures. Let's remove our material override and create a new material. To apply it to the floor, select it and click this button. Drag and drop the textures from the folder provided from the description. Create a composite map. It allows us to mix maps. To mix them, create a new layer and drag the bottom texture to layer 2. Specify this value and select the multiply blending type. Assign this texture to the diffuse. Create a color correction and assign the bottom texture here. Make its gamma brighter. Drag it to the reflection glossiness. Specify this value here. It corresponds to the degree of reflection. We make material for walls. Let's create a new one. Drag the textures from the wall folder. Add a color map of our walls. Again, a composite map. But this time we add 3 layers. Let's assign our maps. We set them up as follows. Apply the UVW map modifier to decompose our texture. Choose the box type and specify the dimensions of 4000 mm everywhere. Assign the same material to the ceiling. Repeat the same process with UVW map for the floor. Return to the wall texture settings. In the preview, you can see that the texture is too embossed and too saturated. Let's edit it. Make the bump smaller. the color is lighter. Add a color correction to a reflection texture. To make it a little darker and less reflective on the walls. Now set up composite map like this. Move the furniture around. And customize our wall texture. And we're ready for the final render. Press F10, Scene tab, set the noise level to 3%, denoising Corona, and value of 0.75. And the most interesting thing is the render settings in the viewport. Add the filmic mapping option, it makes the picture closer to reality. Specify these values. And I add the grunge loot, its value to the minimum. Let's adjust the settings. And finally, click the render button. With all the elements set, models, light and textures, we'll create the final image. Great! We've just built a photorealistic render from scratch. If you're really into 3D visualization, don't forget to share this video with your friends or leave your comment. And thanks for watching. See ya!